instill some confidence in the manager, and all of a sudden they're pitching higher leverage spots in the postseason.
Well, in this final month, I mean, this is an audition period.
Well, he settles under it in left, and that will end. So the Seattle Mariners take game one of this wild card series. A huge win for them in hostile territory.
Yeah, Boog, they've still got their work cut out for them in this series, having to play on the road. But like you said, it's a huge win to jump ahead 1-0 in a short 3-game series. Just have to win one of the next 2 games to move on to the next round.
And on the home side of this one, obviously a disappointing result both for the team and the fans. But with home field advantage throughout, this series still has a lot up in the air. Here's one final look at the line score from this one, Chris.
It was a close 2-run game, and a couple of key moments just really made the difference. Not much separates these 2 teams.
And this one ends with a final score of 6-4. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious Seattle Mariners. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left 10 men on base.
Joe, I remember back when you first burst on the scene, you dealt with the pressure, the burden of expectation, right, of being the first overall pick. Did you?
Welcome in, baseball fans, and here in New York, Game 2 of the American League Wild Card Series coming your way on the show. It's the Seattle Mariners going up against the New York Yankees. Boog Shambi alongside Chris Singleton. A big Game 2 in store for us here today, Chris.
Absolutely, and it might seem like there's not as much pressure if you've already got a win in Game 1, but they're dying to close this series out right here and now. The last thing they want is to lose the momentum and go into a do-or-die Game 3. That's a lot of pressure.
Sometimes it feels like every game in a 3-game series is do or die. First pitch coming your way next.
Yankees.
All right, just about set to go. And on the mound in this one, Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, electric stuff and just great fastball. Able to move it around the zone. Has that late life to it. It's not uncommon at all to see him get up into double-digit strikeouts in a ball game. And I think the one thing about it is getting quicker strikeouts rather than lengthy at-bats. That'll allow him to pitch deep into the ball game and maybe throw a complete game.
The big lefty turns, kicks, deals. Swings and lines a base hit into left field. Here's Christian Arroyo. Rodon, an all-star a season ago. He features a four-seam fastball, a slider, a changeup, and he occasionally uses a curve. Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. On the ground, right side. Smith steps on the bag. One out in the second. One out, runner at second. Cam Collier up next for the Mariners.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect labeled over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
Now a check on him at second, back safely. Mendoza, the runner at second with one away. Now back to second, and he's back again. Here's the pitch. Runner on the move. That's in for a strike. Throw to third, and he's out.
Well, I could see he had a big lead out there at second base.
So up next, Marco Mendoza. 1 for 1. He singled to left his first time through. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. Rodon ready. Here comes. One out and a runner at second.
Well, this is a little tough for the hitter. In the back of the mind, you're wondering, with first base open, am I going to get a pitch to hit?
That one is absolutely belted. And gone! A 2-run blast. His second home run of the series. It's 2-0.
When a guy's got a real hard fastball, you can't overswing. All you've got to do is get the bat head to the spot. If you do, he supplies the power.
And stepping in for the Yankees, Oswald Peraza. He's 0 for 1. The 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Mendoza gathers and throws to first. And that. The wind and the pitch. Back up the middle and a base hit. Tries to get back and save.
First pitch swing in, went up there with a plan to be aggressive. First pitch fastball in a great spot to do some damage, and he squared it up nicely. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Christian Arroyo up next for the Mariners. Now all even up. Runner on the go. Popped in the air. Left field. And there's one away.
Just pulled off of it a little bit right there. That front shoulder coming open instead of staying closed. If he does that, he's going to be able to go up the middle the other way with some authority instead of a fly out to left.
Man at first with one gone. Stepping in, Cam Collier. Oh, 2 now. Runner takes off. Got him swinging. Throw. Save. Siggy, he definitely showed off the wheels there.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a bang-bang play. StatCast gives us the data, and that stolen base wasn't possible without that sprint speed.
Carson Swanson up next for the Mariners. 1 for 2. Here's a 1-1. Ground ball right side, and that chance handled. The flip to the pitcher covering. Third out, and that ends the frame. No runs, 1 hit. Back in New York, all set for the start of the inning. Digging in, Marco Mendoza. He is quite an athlete. I mean, you look around the other sports, basketball, football, you feel like he could thrive in one of those sports too. The pitch. Hard hit, right side. Torres over to first. And they get the leadoff man in the ninth.
Fastball groove right down.
Now the number 2 hitter, Anthony Volpe. Sing, you talk about a guy that has all the skills. The range is really good, but the arm just stands out, and he makes all the plays. Line drive, caught.
Nice swing and good solid contact. That ball was smoked, but needed a little more lift to get into the outfield gap.
So the Seattle Mariners sweep this wild card series with back-to-back wins on the road. And they can now shift their focus to the division round.
Well, hats off to them, Boog. I mean, it's very difficult to come into a hostile stadium with all the energy and excitement of the postseason, but clearly that was no issue for these guys. They played well, and I think that bodes well for their chances at making a deep run here in October.
And a lot of disappointment for these fans and, of course, the players as well, as they turn their attention to the offseason. Not the postseason experience they were hoping for or capable of, but they'll look to build on their success for next year.
For the Yankees, no.
It's easy.
Feel the energy in this building. They are fired up for game one. Back with that after this. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Game one of the American League Division Series. It's the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Joined by my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. Game one is always critical in a postseason series, Singy.
Yeah, and this is when you love having home field advantage, Boog. If you capture game one, you're full of confidence that you've got a chance to ride that momentum for the rest of the series.
And on the visiting side, starting pitching is always the big key in a game like this to kick off a series.
Yeah, you need a strong performance on the mound. That's the #1 way to cancel out the home field edge we just mentioned.
First pitch coming at you right after the break. All right, just about ready for baseball. And today's starting pitcher, Shane Bieber. What should we keep an eye on here?
We know he's one of the best in the game, doesn't make many mistakes, and if he's in a pinch, he'll make up a pitch and throw something that you've never seen before.
One down. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. Hard liner. Pulls it in on the run. Runner tags at second. Thought about third there, but throws on the brakes. 2 away now. So a runner at third, 2 men out. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners. He's 0 for 1.
Well, look out here. He's going to come up ready to swing in this situation.
Swing and a high fly ball. That one out towards left center field, way back there, and forget it. So he blasts one out the other way. The Mariners strike first. It's 2-0. That's his third straight game with a homer, Singy.
This dude is on fire, Boog. These kinds of streaks just don't come around too often. When you're working with this kind of velocity, so critical that you move the ball around, work quickly, and make sure that you keep that hitter off balance. Clearly not fooled by the location or the velocity. He was.
Vic Caratini at the plate.
Victor Caratini.
And a pitch. On the ground. Mendoza. Slings it across. 2 away.
Good fade and sinking action of that changeup. Got that hitter to roll over.
Now batting, the second baseman, Andres. Leading off for the Mariners.
Here's a big power threat. Marco Mendoza. His 2-run homer back in the third was an important swing of the bat in this one.
Yeah, there's no doubt he helped set the tone fairly early, and certainly part of the reason why they've got the lead right now.
The wind of the pitch. And first offering is fouled off. Shane Bieber's control and command some of the best in the game. 2017, the year before he made his big league debut, he struck out 162 batters and walked just 10 across 3 levels of the minors. Also worth noting, his favorite player growing up, Greg Maddux.
Way to lay off that fastball up right there. You're looking for something you see well that you can handle, but you also have to keep the discipline so that you're not popping up pitches that are just a little too high.
Valera moving under it. Hauls it in for the out. And welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning. Stepping up for the Guardians, George Valera. Gilbert back to work. Out to short. Mendoza. The throw to first. And that's 1 out as they get the leadoff hitter in the 6th.
Well, Boog, we talk about how the ball is coming out of a pitcher's hand. The way it comes out.
Stepping in is the switch hitting shortstop, Marco Mendoza. Got to be careful with a slugger like this because he can. Intentional walk here with 2 out. They set up a force at any base to end the inning.
Well, it doesn't get much easier with this next batter, but I totally understand going with the intentional walk in that spot. He's just too dangerous at the plate right now, and there's a base open, so it gives you options defensively to get an out.
On the ground to first. Tosses to the pitcher covering the bag. And Verdugo is set. Here's Teoscar Hernandez.
The batter, the right fielder, Teoscar.
Trying to keep the game alive here in the bottom of the 9th. And a ground ball to first. Slings to second. And they get him easily at first. It's a double play.
Well, that's a huge ball in play to get the double play defensively. Just one more guy to get this save for the closer.
Kingery.
Now it's going to be Marco Mendoza. He's already homered in this game. Singy, you can't ask for anything more. This guy checks all the boxes offensively.
He's the ultimate professional, and it doesn't just start at game time. It starts in the afternoon, the way he prepares and gets ready for the ball game. I tell you what, his teammates feed off of the leadership that he shows.
Well, got to pause on that thought, as that'll do it for the inning. So only 1 hit in the inning, the solo homer, and it puts him ahead. Last chance to even things up. We head to the bottom of inning number 10. It's the Mariners 3 and the Guardians 2.
Come on, guys.
Back now at Progressive Field, ready to go for the last half of the inning. And now the center fielder, George Valera. Slowly on the ground to short, Mendoza. Fires to first on the run. 1 out, the bottom of the 10th.
Well, a well-thrown slider like that one can be tough to get in the air. Good downward break on that one. Well, this is a big win on the road and going extras into 10. So hard to pull those out, but I think this team did a great job of keeping the crowd out of the ball game late. When you can do that, it kind of calms everything down, keeps the adrenaline of the opposing team down a bit, and you can steal a win and get out of here happy.
So it took extras, but here's how the numbers shake out from this one.
Well, they couldn't settle this one in 9, but who doesn't love some extra inning baseball in the postseason?
3-2 the final score. A 1-run extra inning win for Chris Singleton and our entire crew. I'm John Sciambi saying so long.
Our final line.
Live from Cleveland, this is Progressive Field. MLB The Show brings you the American League Division Series. It's the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Hi, folks. John Sciambi alongside Chris Singleton. And a lot riding on this one as these teams meet for Game 2, Chris.
Yeah, this might be the game to actually decide the series, Boo. When it's 5 games, getting a 2-0 lead is a dominant position to be in, and I don't see this series getting to a 5th game if we have a repeat of Game 1's outcome in this one.
Yeah, the Crows start circling for a team that falls into a 2-game deficit, not where you want to be. And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Just about set to go, and on the mound for Cleveland in this one, Tristan McKenzie.
Well, just a 3-pitch mix in his arsenal, which, you know, it's not a lot for a starter, so always very important for him to have a good feel and command all 3. Sometimes you can make that 3 look like 4 if you add or subtract a little bit of velocity on one. But, you know, one thing about it can be easy to get too predictable out there on the mound, so hitters are aware of that. Mixing those 3 pitches in all counts is going to be a big key for him in this one.
Now a high fly ball out to left center.
Damn, that was it right there.
Puts the squeeze on it, and that will end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. And now the Guardians will see what their bats can do in a scoreless ball game. Runner on at first with 1 gone. Scott Kingery up to hit. He's already homered in this one. On the ground to short, could be 2. Mendoza over to second, throw to first, safe.
Now batting, catcher, Victor Garantini.
And now Marco Mendoza. 0 for 1 so far.
Batting in the cleanup spot today, but you could easily see him in the 2-hole and even sometimes leading off.
Into center. And puts the squeeze on that one. And a couple of quick outs. First and second, 2 down. And stepping in is the speedy Marco Mendoza.
One pitch only here. Here we go.
Now he breaks his bat. No throw here. First and third now with 2 out.
Well, those kind of lucky soft hits will always make you smile. Tied him up really well with that pitch inside. Couldn't get it out of the infield, but somehow turns it into a nog. That's a thing of beauty, and some hits just don't make sense. Could be a chance here for them to start clawing back into this ball game.
Come on, baby. Get your pitch. He's going.
Runner on the go. Out to short. Kingery throws to first, and Verdugo is set down. And here in Cleveland, and the batter will be the shortstop, Marco Mendoza. McKenzie back to work. In the air, out towards left center. Kwan calls it in, and there's one away. Here's another look at the numbers from this shutout victory.
Well, it takes a team effort.
Buzzing in here ahead of game 3, and we'll be back in a minute to get it started. And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. MLB The Show brings you the American League Division Series. It's the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Seattle Mariners. Along with Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. We're looking forward to what's sure to be a dramatic Game 3, Chris.
Man, it's been fun so far, Boog, that's for sure. After splitting the first 2, Game 3 takes on even more meaning than usual. You don't want to be the team that drops this one and then be faced with having to win 2 games in a row in order to take the series. That's tough.
And the pressure on the starting pitchers is big in this one. Each of them is being counted on to come through with a quality performance, hoping to save some of that bullpen for really critical games coming up. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Almost ready to get underway. And our starting pitcher here today, Luis Castillo. Going to be hard to top his last start, Singy.
He was outstanding. Complete game shutout. He got some great support from his defense. He's got the swing and miss stuff. Everything working for him. We'll see if he's got it today.
Stepping in, the slugging shortstop, Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
Right side. And it goes just foul. Rodriguez, the runner at first with 2 gone. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Well struck right field, and that one's gone. He powers one out to right field. His second homer of this series. It's 2-0.
That pitch was intended to stay inside, but it leaked out over the middle of the plate. Hitter waited on it, and he connected just.
And now it's Bobby Bradley. He reached out a walk his first time. Bradley waits. Right back to him on the mound. That ends the frame. Guardians fail to score. They trail it here 2-0. Back here at the ballpark, bottom four, and now Marco Mendoza. Quantrill back to work. That misses the zone, and that's ball one.
Well, these Mariners showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across to score as well.
Line drive, and that's a base hit to right. Now he turns and heads for second. Well, he thought about two, but he's back to first safely.
Seems like he got exactly what he was looking for right there. That's a good sound coming off the bat, man. And as he connected out front and lifted into the outfield, that's one of those swings where you just don't even feel the ball hit the barrel. That's a pure stroke. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Quantrill back to work. Runner on the go. Ball misses. Throw to second. Save! Chris, his wheels were the difference maker on that play. Just got in there.
Yeah, with StatCast's help, we see his top speed on this stolen base, and that's a big number. I mean, man, he really made his athleticism work for him on that one.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Man, I really like the ability to bounce back right there after not getting a call. He probably should have gotten it. Didn't let it affect his focus, and he came back with another good pitch to get him swinging.
Runner breaks for third. Swing and a miss. Out at third. And that ends the. Here's Jock Peterson. And he deals. Ground ball right side, could be two. To second, there's one. How about that double play?
I think 4-6-3 double plays like that are way tougher than these guys make it look sometimes.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Marco Mendoza. And it was a homer back in the first inning that got his day started at the plate.
Yeah, Boog, a two-run blast. His fans were just still getting into their seats here at the ballpark. So if you showed up late to this one, you missed out on a big moment early on.
A little bit low. One-run game, one out, one on.
Come on, big guy, your pitch, huh?
Here's a high fly ball out to center. Valera after it. He's got it. 2 down.
On the mound, he had a little trouble back in the first, but it's been a different story the rest of it.
Now it's the shortstop, Marco Mendoza. He's already homered here in this one.
Marco Mendoza.
First offering, and it just misses.
Good speed on the base pass. He handles the bat very well. I wouldn't be surprised if the skipper puts on some type of hit and run or run and hit.
Pitch out, but no action.
Drive him in for us.
High fly ball out to center field. Valera moving under it. Drops into the glove. 2 away now.
Game threes are very critical when you have a series tied at 1-1 because you put yourself up. Anytime you go down, you're always chasing. When you're up in the series, you feel like you're in the driver's seat. Nice win today.
Not a ton of offense to chat about as we look at the final numbers, but this was a good one.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, Boog, but sometimes those can be the best, especially this time of year.
And your final 3-1 for Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show. I'm John Shambi saying so long.
Our
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome. MLB The Show brings you the American League Division Series. It's the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Seattle Mariners. John Shambi along with Chris Singleton. Plenty of storylines taking shape in this series as we set the stage for Game 4, Chris.
And I'll be interested to see if these teams approach it any differently, with one on the brink of elimination and the other just a win away from putting an end to this thing. You know, in the postseason, I think you have to treat every game the same, but there's something about an elimination game that can put a team just into a different mindset.
Yeah, and the strategy could certainly change in this type of game. It's hard to manage the same way when in any given at-bat, it can impact everything you've been working for throughout the season. First pitch coming your way next. So almost ready to get underway, and on the hill, Logan Gilbert.
He's a dominant pitcher, but he can get a little too relaxed second and third time through the order and miss his spots. That's where we see him get touched up. If he maintains the same intensity that he has in the first inning and the second inning, I think we'll see him hand the ball over to his closer.
And up next for Cleveland, George Valera.
Hey, no outs now.
On the ground to second, might be two. Good feed, that's one. Throw to first, but he beat it. So digging in, Marco Mendoza.
shortstop.
Singing, he's a guy that covers both sides of the plate about as well as anyone in the sport. How difficult is that to do?
Well, just look at the back of my bubblegum card. You'll see how hard it is. These guys are great, man. They have the ability to look out there, but also to be able to turn on the inside pitch. Those that can really sharpen things on the outer half, those are the ones that become elite.
At the belt and fires. In the air out towards right center. Valera after it. Great effort as he's able to haul it in. Runner tags up for third.
Every day during batting practice, these outfielders get him.
Welcome back. And now Jack Peterson.
They're off to a great start, 3-run lead after their first inning, but so important to be airtight defensively. Don't give away extra outs and allow that other club to get back in this ballgame.
Hard hit left side. Leadoff man retired here in the second.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 34.
Here's Andres Jimenez. Walked to open the ball game. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most. To first, and that's the third out. Nothing doing for the Guardians there. They trail it here 3-0. Ready to go, bottom four. And stepping in for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. You talk about the power and the speed together.
Well, we knew he was going to be a stud just coming up, making his way through the minor leagues, and quickly at this level.
Oh, this one high and deep, way back there. And brings it in at the wall.
Man, I love that route. The ball was smoked. He knew he had to get back to the track right away. Turned his...
Now it's the power speed combo. Marco Mendoza. First offering misses the mark. Kicks and deals. And now 2-0.
Well, Boog, after watching the first inning of this one, you would not have expected that this pitcher would be in such a groove and still in the ball game at this point.
To the right side. To Kingery for one. To first, not in time. Great effort there. Here's Alex Verdugo. 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer back in the first. 2-2 now. Runner takes off. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. One left for Seattle. Here's the Cleveland leadoff hitter, Andres Jimenez.
Went down looking on 3 pitches last time. Let's see if he can be a little more aggressive right here.
That's to third. Oh, nice play. Fires to first, and they get the out.
This defense came to play tonight. We're seeing some awesome pitching, but a huge part of this shutout so far has been the guys making great plays like that behind their pitcher. They feed off of one another, make great pitches, make great plays.
Man at second here with 2 away. Stepping in is the switch hitting shortstop, Marco Mendoza. He's not going to get cheated up there.
No, he's not. He's looking to do damage with every swing he takes.
He gets the intentional walk here, and now will force at any base with 2 gone.
Clearly he didn't want to mess with him right there, so I think it makes sense to play the numbers game in this spot.
Here's the left fielder, Alex Verdugo. He's already homered in this game. And a pitch. Swing and a ball lifted in the air, shallow left field. It's Kingery again to make the play. Runner at first with 2 away. Scott Kingery up to hit. 1 for 3. Here's a 1-2. Popped up. Mendoza settles underneath it. And the Mariners are moving on. They're headed to the American League Championship Series.
Well, a really solid division series win. They can move on to the next round and I think relax a little bit more. Congratulations, boys. Get ready for the ALCS.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious Seattle Mariners.
Well, this place is red. We'll be right back to get this series started in just a minute. From Minute Maid Park in Houston, Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. It's the Seattle Mariners taking on the Houston Astros. With Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. Singy, this should be fun.
Well, you can feel the energy in the ballpark, and these two teams have fought through so much adversity to get here. When you get here, you forget about individual statistics and you play for the team. When a team is able to do that, they see themselves go to another level, and I'm looking forward to seeing that tonight.
First pitch coming your way next. Just about ready to roll, and towing the slab in this one, Luis Garcia.
A really good outing for him last time. Scattered 2 runs, was attacking hitters, getting ahead in the count. Great performance. We'll see if he can do it again in this one.
Marco Mendoza digs in now. This is a true 5-tool guy. Not very many of them out there, but when he's on the field, you can't take your eye off of him. That's in there. That's strike 1. Packed house here at Minute Maid. The next offering misses, and the count is 1-1. And the right-hander deals. And that one fouled off. Next one just misses. And it's 2-2.
It's a good take.
Your pitch right here.
Two on the way. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. That one back. That's down. One hops off the wall. Round second, digging for third. Painless with a relay throw. Not in time. He's safe.
4 hits in a row, and they're really swinging it here. Really good swing right there. He got a pitch that he knew he could handle, allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
Here's Alex Verdugo. Fair to say he wasn't his typical self in the division series. Chris, I talked to the staff, and they are confident that he's going to deliver big here in the LCS.
Yeah, you see these guys around him, and they know he's a stud, and they know it's just a matter of one swing that he breaks out.
That's hard hit in the line. Mitchell makes the catch. Runner tags for home. Throws it away. And now the runner will score from third on the wild throw.
That wasn't your standard sac fly. He barreled that baseball. Just couldn't get it to...
Kevin Biggio up to the plate. This is a guy who's in the lineup first and foremost because of what he contributes defensively, Chris. And when you talk about preventing runs from being scored, this guy is a big contributor. Ripped to short. Throws across the diamond, and they get Biggio for the out. And that is the inning. So no runs here on a base hit, no errors, and one left. We played 2 full. It's the M's 5 and the Astros nothing. Back here in Houston, here's a speed threat, Marco Mendoza. He is quite an athlete. I mean, you look around the other sports, basketball, football, you feel like he could thrive in one of those sports too. And there's the strike.
I was always told it's hard to take you off the field when you play really good defense, especially at a premier position, and that's what he does.
Hammered on a line to the left, base hit. And that's going to roll to the wall. Takes the turn. He's digging for second. In safely. It's a double and his second hit.
Couple of hits in a row for him here. Nice job going the opposite way with it, letting the ball travel and not allowing the barrel to hook around the ball. It's so frustrating when you see a good pitch and your hands roll over. It was on the outside part of the plate and he approached it perfectly.
Alex Verdugo up next for the Mariners. He's 0 for 1. Well, it's pretty clear that he was frustrated, and even he admitted as much with his performance in their last series, but now a chance to hit the reset button.
That's one of the things he's going to have to get used to, being the superstar player in this lineup. They are going to pitch you very tough, and you make the adjustment, you can have success. I think he'll have it in this one.
The third baseman, Cam.
So one gone with a runner at third. Cam Collier up next for the Mariners. 1 for 1 so far today with a solo homer in his first at bat. Right side, hard hit. The flip to the pitcher covering. Runs, scores, but a terrific play to get the out.
The second baseman, Christian Arroyo.
And here is Marco Mendoza.
Really good piece of hitting last time. Going to the opposite field.
Great speed and great power. A great athlete, quite simply. Out there to center. Mitchell gets under it. Makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. One hit in the inning, a solo homer. To the bottom of inning number 4 now. It's the Mariners 7 and the Astros nothing. Here's the center fielder, Garrett Mitchell. 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Mitchell.
Lee over at first with 1 away. On the ground, right side. To second for 1. Back to first, double play. And that's it for the inning. But they push across 1 run. 2 hits. 1 was a home run. No errors and no one left on. On to the top of the 5th we go. It's the Mariners 7 and the Astros 1. Here's Kyle Tucker.
Right fielder, number 30.
They've got a potent lineup, and when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. Ground ball could be 2. The flip to second, and it's a double play.
Very smooth on the feed to second right there. You've got to love that glove toss, Boog. You know, sometimes people think these guys are being a little flashy, but it actually can make more sense to do that than try to make a full transfer. And you got to remember, these guys work on that play all the time, so it's in their back pocket whenever they need it.
2 outs, base is empty. George Salazar up next for the Astros. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a slow roller. Mendoza whips it to first on the run. They don't come much closer than that. Bang, bang play to end the inning. Offense held in check there. We're through 5. It's the Mariners 7 and the Astros 1. So now it's the Mariner cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza. He's a guy who does it all. With the lack of contact in today's game, this guy hits for contact, so he delivers average, but there's on-base and slugging too.
Early in the count, you have to be real careful because of that power, but then if this hitter gets a strike or two on him, he's still very comfortable, and because he has the ability to get the barrel to the baseball, he's a threat deep into the count as well.
And there's 2 down.
Now batting.
And up next for Seattle, Marco Mendoza. That smash towards center. And that is that. 2 left on. Kevin Biggio with a chance to hit. 1 for 2. Tap back up the middle. 1 at second. Out. A double play to end it.
Well, this team was ready from the first pitch of the ball game. Swinging the bats, scoring runs, just very aggressive. I feel like they set the tone, and that tone created a momentum that took them all the way to the finish line. Nice win today.
(7-3) is how this one ends. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. Thanks for joining us.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious Seattle Mariners.
From Minute Maid Park in Houston, we've got the American League Championship Series on the show. About to get started here, and towing the slab here, Christian Javier. Lots of punch-outs, a real strikeout artist, Singy.
Well, he issued way too many free passes this last time out. You can't win at this level if you allow that many base runners. So today, he's got to get strike one, put the hitter on his heels, maybe get some swings and misses, and offset those walks with more strikeouts in this one.
Right here, one time.
Marco Mendoza, the next to hit, takes ball 1.
This might be the most pressure you put on this guy today. You got 1 run in. You got to try to get another one or maybe 2.
on, big guy. One time. Here we go.
Out towards right center. That's well struck. Mitchell raging back towards the wall. And that one is gone. A 3-run homer, and they boost their lead. It's 4-0.
Well, he put a really nice swing on that one, and everything was on time, took a direct path to the ball, excellent extension, and just drove it out of here. Nothing better than when the ball jumps off your bat.
Now here's the switch-hitting power threat, Marco Mendoza. He had a big 3-run homer at his first trip. Pretty amazing athlete this guy is. Power and speed, quite a threat. I mean, you're talking about someone that could steal you a bag and go swing, and this one's blasted. It's got a chance. Leaps at the wall, but can't haul it in. And it's off the top of the wall. Runner from second scores as they add on. It's 5-0.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. When you connect and it jumps off your bat like that, you're thinking double at the very least. Put a great swing on it, and man, he wasn't fooled at all.
Yusniel Diaz now.
Come on, big guy.
Mendoza leads off second with nobody out.
Back.
Check on the runner. Mendoza back in on a dive. Packed house here at Minute Maid. 3-2 now. Puts it in the air out towards left center. Mitchell makes the play. Runner tagging for third. And he makes it up to third with one away.
Up next for Seattle, the third baseman, Cam Collier.
Here's the third baseman, Cam Collier. He's 0 for 1. One away with a runner at third. Out towards left center. Alvarez makes the play. Runner tagging from third. He's in on the sac fly, and it's now a 6-run lead.
Second baseman, Christian Arroyo.
So up next, Garrett Mitchell.
The center fielder, Garrett Mitchell.
Left-hand batter waits. Softly hit to third. On the run, sends it over to first. Now 2 away.
Batting ninth, the second baseman, Kevin Biggio.
Man in scoring position with 2 away. Marco Mendoza now at the plate. He's already homered here in this one. Singing, you can't ask for anything more. This guy checks all the boxes offensively.
He's the ultimate professional, and it doesn't just start at game time. It starts in the afternoon, the way he prepares and gets ready for the ball game. I tell you what, his teammates feed off of the leadership that he shows on and off the field.
The 1-0. And that's in for a strike.
Back-to-back fastballs in. That last one called for a strike. Probably go away, but look for him to come back in there to try to finish you off.
Hey, like your can up there, huh?
The 1-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. Daza on third with 2 out. Next pitch is popped up. Guerrero settles under it. Puts the squeeze on that one. And that'll do it. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now 0 for 1 so far. And now the 0-1. With the shift on, hits right into it. And Guerrero is set down.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
And now it's the cleanup hitter for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. He's already homered in this game.
With this kind of lead, he can swing freely. Try to hit the ball out of the park. do what he loves to do.
That's in there. Strike one. Mendoza measures 6 feet 4 inches, 230 pounds, and he's won a Silver Slugger in the American League. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Time asked for at the plate. Maybe an attempt to break up the rhythm that he's got going on the mound right now. Here's the 0-2. Bounce to third. Fair ball. Around first, heading for 2. Alvarez throws to second. There's the tag. They get him. And here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This guy has turned into a beast.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Now a screamer into the outfield. Diaz makes a nice grab at a full sprint. So they go quietly there. We head to the 7th now in game 2. It's the Mariners 8 and the Astros 1. And the batter will be the shortstop, Marco Mendoza.
Oh, yeah, Boog. He's on the brink of one of your favorite milestones. He's completed 3 legs of the cycle.
I love me some cycle. And takes low for ball 1.
This is one of those situations defensively where you can't try to do too much. You got to make sure that you field the ball cleanly and get 1 out first. It's going to be tough to get 2 with this kind of speed in the batter's box.
And he swings and lifts one to deep center field. Mitchell ranging back, still going back, makes the catch up against the wall.
Man, I love that route. The ball was smoked. He knew he had to get back. It seemed like from the first pitch of this ball game, this guy was going to get it done. A quality start. Who knew he'd throw a complete game and get the victory? But an excellent job of continuing to just throw what the catcher put down. He navigated through this ball game, a jam here, a jam there, but ultimately it was an outstanding outing.
So Singy, as the numbers show, a great performance on the mound in this one.
Absolutely, and that really set the tone from the beginning. A fantastic effort.
And this one finishes with a final of 8-1. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon. Festivities wrapping up. The crowd is electric, and we'll be back to get it going right after this. We're here in Seattle. We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. Joined by my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. A lot going on in this series as we get ready for Game 3, Singy.
And Boog, this is as close to an elimination game as you can get without it actually being one. Going down 3-0 would more or less just end this thing. So this game's going to tell us whether we're going to have a real series in store for us or if we're just going to be packing our bags and going home.
A lot of people feel these teams are more evenly matched. The first two games would indicate. So we'll see if we get a bounce-back performance in this one. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about ready to go. And our pitcher tonight, Logan Gilbert. Going to be hard to top his last start, Singy.
He was outstanding. Complete game shutout. He got some great support from his defense. He's got the swing and miss stuff. Everything working for him. We'll see if he's got it today.
So 2 down. And the batter now, George Salazar. Doubled his first time up.
Salazar.
The 1-1. Out to short. They take the force out, and that is that. So they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. It's the Astros 2 and the Mariners nothing. We head to the bottom of the second. Stepping in the long ball threat, Marco Mendoza.
This kid is so special.
He's a shortstop by trade and big time power.
Seems like from day one, his strike zone and plate discipline looked like he'd been in the league for 6 years already.
Fly ball to right. Tucker should have it. And there's one down. And now for Seattle, Marco Mendoza. 0 for 1. He flied out to right in his first trip. Time called. Mendoza measures 6 feet 4 inches. A career batting average over .325. Let's remember a major part of his resume are those 3 MVP awards. On to first, and there's 2 away.
Now batting, second baseman, Christian.
And next will be the cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
That's in there. That's strike 1.
And I know you want to be patient as a hitter, but you got to be ready to jump on the first thing straight. And he got one right there, but left the bat on his shoulder.
And a base hit on a line. In to score is the runner from third. Back even. It's 3-3.
Well, a big swing of the bat right there. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice line drive in the center field. So that definitely felt good.
First and second, 2 outs. Here's Christian Arroyo. 1 for 2. Rodriguez, the lead runner at second. Mendoza on at first with 2 down. That's to third. Bregman. Inning over, and it could have been worse. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across 1. 5 innings complete. All tied up at 3 apiece. Go ahead run on base. And now the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1 for 3. The 1-2. On the ground, 2 ball. Mendoza tossed the second, and that's 2.
Got the batter to hit it exactly where he wanted. That textbook 6-4-3 double play, gets out of the jam and back in the dugout.
So 2 down. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners.
Good swing out of him last time. Ripped a liner in the center.
Mendoza.
Well, with both starters out of this ball game, it now becomes a battle of the bullpens and just seeing which manager can match up better and who's able to get to the finish line. Well, now that this is a bullpen game, it's clear that whichever bullpen steps up the most is likely going to come away with the W.
High in the air, out to right. Tucker should have it. Puts the squeeze on that one, and that'll end the inning. So digging in, Jeremy Pena. With a single base runner because of all the power, they are dangerous to tie this thing up or take the lead. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out.
Well, that at bat had a lot of pressure riding on it, so really great job coming through right there. It's got it.
So next up for Houston, Garrett Mitchell. 2-2. Hit slowly on the ground. Mendoza behind his back to second.
Now back, second baseman, Captain Trujillo.
1 down, runner at first. And now Marco Mendoza, the switch hitter batting right. Ball 1, no strikes.
If you're a base runner, you've got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt. Try your best to get into scoring position.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Chris, with that distraction and a speedy guy at first, he's in a favorable hitter's count.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, this is a great spot for a hitter to be in.
On the ground right side, 4, 6, 3, double play. And the inning is over.
Well, the second baseman made that one look easy. Great feed to the shortstop. Shortstop completes the play. They get out.
George Salazar up next for the Astros. The 2-1. On the ground, out to short. Mendoza tosses across to first, and that is out number 2.
The left fielder, number 4.
And this one ends with a final score of 6-4. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long from T-Mobile Park in Seattle.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious Seattle Mariners.
From the home of the Mariners since 1999, T-Mobile Park here in Seattle. We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. With my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. And Singy, there's been a lot to talk about already in this series as we head into Game 4.
Well, the number one thing to discuss is just how lopsided this series has been. You know, you get to this point of the season, Boog, and you expect both teams to be on pretty even ground, but it's not played out that way at all. And when a team takes care of business with such dominance and gets out to a 3-0 lead, I just can't see this series lasting much longer.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. But hey, coming back to win the series has been done before. First pitch coming at you right after the break. About to get started here. Getting the nod on the mound, Isaiah Campbell.
Try to stay back for that power changeup. Speed differential between the fastball and the changeup is huge. Hitters, they have a hard time staying back.
So 2 down. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Where's that one now?
Man at second. Here's a tapper towards short. Mendoza. Over to first. That's out number 3. One left for Houston. Now it'll be the M's turn. No score. You're watching the American League Championship Series on the show. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners.
Marco Mendoza.
And first offering is fouled off. Anderson at second with 2 down. Next one off the plate inside. And that is ball 1. Oh, look at the stop. The throw, nicely done for the out. We'll head to inning number 2. So now it's the Mariner cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza. Grounded out his first time. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Puts it away for the out. So 1 out, nobody up. Now here is Marco Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Outside, Mendoza, just 21 years old. He's a former American League MVP. On the ground, right side.
Beat it out, beat it out, beat it out.
Tosses to the pitcher covering the bag. 2 out. Ready to begin the 8th. Here's Corey Lee. White back to work. Swing and a ground ball out to short. Gets it to first. 1 up, 1 down. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners.
Hey, I need you right here. Let's go, kid.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Lots of anxious fans in the ballpark right now. You can feel it.
Watch up. Drive him in right here. Here you go.
The pitch. That one lifted to left. Alvarez in position. And that is that. No outs. Runner at first. And next to hit for Houston, Alex Bregman. Right-hander kick steals. Nice grab. The throw. Mendoza to second. On to first. Safe. So they get one, but a real...
You never want to come into a postseason series and get swept. You want to feel like you've had a chance. You've worked so hard to get here. They've still got a long way to go, but after this win in Game 4, maybe, just maybe, they feel like they've got a chance.
And this one ends with a final. Crew, I'm John. And welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. All right, first pitch coming up. And on the hill, the lefty, Eduardo Rodriguez. What do we have on him?
Well, you don't always know what to expect with this guy on the mound to start the game. He can be really good at times and turn in some real excellent efforts. For me, it'll tell us a lot to see how he's attacking the strike zone and pitching aggressively or not. If he's doing that from the jump, I think he'll be fine in this one.
Hard ground ball, base knock.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just shot it through the infield. And now a chance to maybe get creative on offense with good speed on first.
Now the third baseman, Cam Collier. The 0-1. Runner on the move. Center field. Makes the grab, and there's one down. Man at first with one gone. Here's Christian Arroyo.
Hey, get your pitch, see through, huh? Let's go.
And the 0-2. Runner on the go. Swing and a bouncer. Sends it across to first. No chance at the double play with the runner in motion. Man at second here with two away. The batter will be Michael Conforto.
Conforto.
2 outs. Runner takes off for third. Swings and misses. Struck him out. Mariners lead 1. And stepping in for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. Picked up a base hit to center his first time up. Pulls that one foul. That misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Way high.
He really committed to that fastball up at the top of the zone. He knows that if he makes a mistake in the zone, it gets hit hard by a power guy like this. That's a nice miss right there.
Next pitch is popped up. Murphy should have this one. And there's 2 away.
Now batting, the third baseman.
2 outs, nobody on. Chas McCormick getting ready to hit. First time up was a pop out. Bounce to the left side. Can't field it cleanly. But they get the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. Nothing doing. So the lineup flips over. And now here is Kyle Tucker. Left-hand hitter waits. Popped up. And there's one down. Back at T-Mobile Park, bottom of the 7th. And now it's the cleanup hitter for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. Hit on the ground to the right side. And that's a fair ball. Around first and hustling for second. In safely. It's a double. And his second hit.
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Fastball pretty much middle, and that's what you fall asleep dreaming about as a hitter. So no surprise he put a great swing on it.
Here's a 1-2. Tap back to the mound. Tosses to first. And one away in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the second baseman, Christian Arroyo.
Don't be surprised to roll on the ground to the corners that they come home with the baseball instead of going to first base.
Now a pop-up on the infield. Guerrero makes the grab, 2 down.
Well, that's what he's looking for with the fastball above the zone. A swing and miss or weak contact.
So a runner at third, 2 men out. And here is Michael Conforto. Tapped softly on the ground. In plenty of time to first. That's the 3rd out. So the Houston lineup turns over. And stepping in for the Astros, Kyle Tucker. Up the middle. And Tucker is retired. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Marco Mendoza.
Come on, Biggin.
Intentional walk here with 2 out. They set up a force at any base to end the inning.
These fans don't like to see that because they showed up to watch him swing the bat, but this team does not want to let him beat him.
First offering. Runner goes. Ground ball left side. Lays out. Oh, it's off his glove. And they
Oh my
tag him
God.
out. Not a ton of offense to chat about as we look at the final numbers, but this was a good one.
Yeah, it was this time.
Next to hit, Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
First pitch just misses.
Good speed on the base pass. He handles the bat very well. I wouldn't be surprised if the skipper puts on some type of hit and run or run and hit.
And the 1-0. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock.
Back-to-back singles, just a simple ground ball the other way that had eyes on it, man. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Just let the ball travel, put the ball in play, and just hope it finds a hole.
Tap softly third base side, a swinging bunt. They get the force. That ends the frame. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners.
Marco Mendoza.
Right field down the line, and that one slices foul.
This guy absolutely flies. The defense wants to turn 2, but they've got to get a ball they can do it with. Make sure you get the first out before you try to rush and get 2 and end up with nothing.
1-1. Come on, big guy, get your pitch.
Righty delivers. This to center field. Mitchell gets under it. He's got it, and there's 2 away. Packed house here at Minute Maid. Back here in Houston. All right, we go to the top half of inning number 6. And now for Seattle, Marco Mendoza. The right-hander back to work. That one back up the middle, and it gets through.
Just kept it simple. Played pepper with the middle of the infield and took it back where it came from, and there's just no one there to knock it down. And now let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the base.
And there he goes. It's a pitch out. Throw to second, and he's out.
That goes to show you stealing a base is
So now the Astros designated hitter, George Salazar. 1-2 here. Hit weakly on the ground. Mendoza zips it to first. Got the out.
well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air.
No outs. Runner at first. And now the shortstop, Jeremy Pena. And the pitch. Dives, but it kicks off his glove. Safe at first as they can't make the play.
Still able to come through behind in the count right there. You got that front foot down, and pitch recognition was on point. Pretty impressive for an OT.
So now it's the Mariner cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza. The switch hitter batting right. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. Comebacker to the mound. Slings to first, and there's 2 away. So Singy, as the numbers show, a great performance on the mound. Back here at the ballpark, stepping in, the slugging shortstop, Marco Mendoza. And a swing and a line drive at a right field. Tucker makes the catch, and there's one gone. Man in scoring position with 2 away. Here's Corey Lee. The 2-2. Up the middle. Sends it to first. That is the inning. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners. He's 0 for 1. Great speed and great power. A great athlete, quite simply.
He's like Mike Trout. You figure whatever you put in his hand, whether it's a bat, whether it's a golf club, whether it's a basketball, he can do it and get it done. And a rare talent, so much fun to watch.
Off the plate inside, 1-0. And here it comes. That one is upstairs.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
That one ripped. Mitchell going back on this one. Back some more. And it hits the fence. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. He's safe at third. It's a 2-run triple.
Nicely done. Brings home 2. Put a great swing on that pitch to deep center field, and we knew it was going to be close, but just not quite enough. And I'm sure a few of his teammates might be yelling weight room at him right now, but he should definitely feel good about that one.
Here's Christian Arroyo. A walk and a run scored his first time. And the 3-1. Chopper right side. Guerrero. The flip to the pitcher covering. Out number 2, and another run comes in. Here's Kyle Tucker. He's 0 for 1.
Kyle Tucker.
No one out now.
Bounce to the right side. Goes to second for 1. Return throw to first. Double play. And the run scores from third.
First and third, nobody out.
The batter,
So up next,
3,
Jeremy Pena.
shortstop,
His first at bat was a strikeout.
Pena.
Nobody here. Nobody.
Grounder might be 2. Mendoza over to second. Relay to first. Double play.
Well, a very fast developing play right there. No margin for error. Nice double play on a fast runner up the line.
We go to the top of the 5th. Here's a big power threat. Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
And a pitch. Ball 1 there.
Well, these Mariners really impressing me with the quality of their at-bats in this one. It's been fun getting a chance to see them go to work. It looked to me like they really wanted to get to the starter early, get him out of the game before he settles in. So I'd say mission accomplished.
On a line, base hit. Makes the turn and heads for second. The throw to second is offline.
Well, when you fall behind in the count, you've got to come into the zone, and then guys have a better chance of hitting the ball hard like he did right there.
And up next for Seattle, Christian Arroyo.
And Boog, I'd say he's due.
Runner at second, nobody out. Cut on and miss, struck him out, and the struggles continue in the postseason.
Well, he didn't get the call on the mound the pitch before. Felt like he should have had him looking, I think, but you know, that's good composure right there. He found a way to come back with another good pitch to get him to swing and miss.
Kicks and fires. Swing and a broken bat flare towards left. On the run, throw to first. Out number 2. So 2 down, and now the catcher comes up to hit. Carson Swanson. He's already homered here in this one.
Hey, let it fly right here.
High fly ball lifted in the air right field. Tucker brings it in for the third out. A double. Back to the top of the lineup. Here's the Astros leadoff man, Kyle Tucker. The pitch. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Got the top.
We go to the top of the seventh, and stepping in for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. Hard hit, but right at him and left.
Clearly ready to hit right there. First pitch of the inning.
Now it's Yordan Alvarez. He's got the power, but great contact skills. One of the best contact hitters in the game. Rolled to short, could be two. To second, there's one. And that is a rally killer. Two gone in the eighth.
Well, almost any time you roll over and send a 2-ball to short at this level, you can pretty much count on a double play. Middle in.
Welcome back. Now it's the shortstop, Marco Mendoza. The wind of the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike one. Kobayashi, a 6'4" righty. He features a 4-seam fastball, a cutter, and he works in a changeup. Next offering misses, and 1-1.
Good purpose pitch right there. Trying to tease him, get him to raise his sights, pop something up, and make it an easy out.
And it's through for a hit.
Having himself a really nice game at the plate. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
Now it's the second baseman, Christian Arroyo. Next offering is in for a strike.
Come on, big guy. One time. Here we go.
Runner on the go. There's a ball. Safe at second with a stolen base. That was close, but StatCast shows us why he so often seems to be on the safe side of these steal attempts, Chris.
Yeah, you see that plus speed, and he needed every last bit of it to swipe that bag. Such a threat on the bases.
The 1-2 to third. Bregman handles. Fires over to first. Now one gone in the ninth.
Now batting, the third baseman.
Man at second with one away. And the batter now, Cam Collier.
Showed a really nice opposite field approach in his last at bat.
Here's the pitch. Runner breaks for third. Swung on, belted. That one back there and out of here. He made him pay for that one. That's his third home run of the series. And they add a couple more. It's 10-4.
Well, not every home run is a majestic blast off the bat, and even though he hit it pretty well, it was anything but a sure thing to get out. But today, the conditions were right. He got just enough of it, and I think... Congratulations to the American League champions. These guys have worked hard all season long, and their hard work has paid off. Now, off to the World Series. These guys can't wait to get it started.
For my partner, Chris Singleton, and our entire outstanding crew, thank you for watching the American League Championship Series on MLB The Show.
Our final line.
Both Carlos and Jake played in the World Series. Jake Peavy is a World Series champion. After pitching a decade in the majors, what was it like to take the mound during the World Series?
Well, extra special. Like you said, I was a veteran, and I was understanding of what it took and all the right pieces that had to fall in place for you to make it to a World Series. I was extremely grateful, but I was focused with my teammates on finishing the job at hand. Nobody remembers second place, Rofo.
And then you went and did it again the next year.
I got very fortunate to join forces in 2014 with a Buster Posey, Pablo Sandoval, Madison, Bumgarner, Hunter Pence. Big-time energy on the West Coast, that giant title town there for a minute.
Yeah.
3 and 5 years. 2014 was extra special.
Carlos, you, of course, with the 2008 Rays in the World Series, ultimately did not win the big trophy. What was that feeling like?
Oh, man, I was devastated. I mean, I'm here to admit to both of you guys that I cried. I did.
Oh, of course.
It just crushed me. You know how difficult it is to get to that point? You have that one opportunity. That's the only time I made it to the World Series, and we could not capitalize. I still played those games in my head.
So many years of disappointment leading up to every season that you don't win the championship, you go home with extremely disappointed.
It does not get more intense than this time of year. The World Series is here, and every pitch matters.
This crowd is ready as we get set for the World Series. Game 1 is next. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up. It's the Seattle Mariners going up against the Atlanta Braves. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. There may be no better atmosphere in all of baseball than Game 1 of the Fall Classic, Siggy. Lots of excitement to get this thing started.
Yeah, and the players feel that just as much as the fans. You're down there with goosebumps, and these guys are just trying to stay in the moment. But I'll tell you, for the home team especially, it's so hard not to be emotional and hyped up with all the energy in this building right now.
And on the other side, of course, you're looking to swing home field advantage your way with an all-important opening win on the road. First pitch coming your way next. So just about set now. And our starting pitcher here today, Dylan Cease.
Yeah, he battled through 7 innings last time out. He pitched well enough to get the win thanks to that offense. He'll look to turn in another quality start in this one.
So 2 down, and now Marco Mendoza. Big-time power.
Mendoza.
Well, everyone wants to get off to a great start in a series, so if you can get on the board first, take a lead, you put some of that subtle pressure on the other team.
Olsen handles the chance. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. And now the Braves, with their first chance to hit, were scoreless. So 2 on, but 2 away. Dalton Varsho next up for the Braves. Well, it's pretty clear that he was frustrated, and even he admitted as much with his performance in their last series, but now a chance to hit the reset button.
That's one of the things he's going to have to get used to, being the superstar player in this lineup. They are going to...
The throw in time to get him, and that does it for the inning. 3 runs for him here, and they move ahead. End of the first from Truist Park. It's the Braves 3 and the Mariners nothing. Back here in Atlanta, and now the DH, Termarr Johnson. Game 1 of the World Series here tonight, and all he's hoping is that the success that he's had in the first couple of rounds continues.
The great thing, you're here in the World Series. Now just try to have fun. The performance has been outstanding, and why should it stop now?
How do they cool him off?
Well, they're going to be extremely careful with him. I doubt he's going to get much to hit today, but when he does, be careful because he can hit it along.
So now it's the 4-hole hitter, Marco Mendoza. 0 for 1. He grounded out to first his last time. And there's a foul ball. Here comes the 0-1. Good eye right there.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have.
Now this ball is well hit. This one's got a chance.
Go.
Fair ball. 1 run across. Another comes in to score, and it's a 1-run game. He's safe at third, and the tying run is 90 feet away.
Picks himself up a couple of ribbies. You don't see a lot of triples come from balls hit into the left field corner like that, but clearly they had some trouble with it out there, and he didn't hesitate rounding the bases for a second.
And now for Seattle, Cam Collier. 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect labeled over him since he put on a professional uniform, but at some point that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
Ripped to third, but handled, and that'll end the inning. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head down to the home half of inning number 3. It's the Braves 3 and the Mariners 2. Runners at the corners here. 1 away. Ozzie Albies next up for the Braves. 1 for 1 with a single so far. The 1-1. Now a slow roller to second. To second, that's 1. But not in time at first. He's safe. The inning is still alive and the run scores.
I promise you, there are guys that get a little bit faster when they can smell an RBI. That was a possible inning-ending double play. Great hustle, and he gets rewarded with the RBI because of it.
Base is empty with 2 away. So now it's the Mariner cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Hey, have a good rip up there, huh?
And that one lifted in the air center field. Harris has a beat on it. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So they make short work of him there. Last half of the 5th coming up. It's the Braves 4 and the Mariners 2. So 2 away with nobody on. And the batter will be the shortstop, Marco Mendoza. 1 for 3. Singing, he's a guy that covers both sides of the plate about as well as anyone in the sport. How difficult is that to do?
Well, just look at the back of my bubblegum card. You'll see how hard it is. These guys are great, man. They have the ability to look out there, but also to be able to turn on the inside pitch. Those that can really sharpen things.
Now a rocket to right center. Way back there. And forget it. It's out of here. A big blow to the home fans, and we're level. It's 4-4.
A good hitter gets pitch recognition early. He saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
Here's Austin Riley.
It's a good spot to be in with runners on first and second. You know the pitcher's going to come after you.
Winning run stands at second. Sneaks through, base hit, coming home. The winning run crosses the plate, and the Braves walk it off to win game one. Close one here today, and your final. About 13 miles from downtown Atlanta, welcome to Truist Park. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up. It's the Seattle Mariners going up against the Atlanta Braves. With my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. A big game 2 in store for us here today, Chris.
And the series started out like you might expect. The home side taking care of business in game 1, but this game today is going to reveal a lot about what this series will become. Will it be a battle for 6 or 7 games, or will it be a walkover? Those are the questions that we start getting more clarity on after game 2.
I have a feeling it's going to be a good one, Chris. This should be fun. And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Just about set, on the hill, and coming off a great start, Spencer Strider.
Boog, 8 solid innings his last time out, picked up the win. See what he's got today. If he plays catch with his catcher the way he did, doesn't shake off, I think we'll see more of the same.
The right field.
Here's Acuna now. This guy has turned into a beast. On the ground to the left. Base hit. They fired in quickly, so it's first and second with only one away.
Batting fourth.
Just a cookie down the middle.
And welcome back. Top of the second. And now it's the cleanup hitter for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. Hit hard. That gets through.
He was all over that one. Timing on the swing was good. Able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
The pitch. Runner on the go. On the ground to third. Riley fires to first. Got him. Runner stays out of the double play by going on the 3-2 pitch. Here's Christian Arroyo. Mendoza leads off second with one gone in the inning. Strider checks the runner, and he's back in safely. And he hits a ground ball right side. Throw on to Olsen.
Start, he's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up to go deep into this game.
Payoff pitch. The right-hander gives up the 2-out walk.
Man, that's a tough one to take on the full count, but I guess he saw it really well. It's a really nice plate appearance.
And here's the first baseman, number 82. It's interesting, he plays kind of a power spot defensively, but runs pretty well. So when you're looking at that position, you're not expecting someone that has maybe a bump. And there's the 3rd out. That'll do it for the inning. So the batting order turns over. Digging in, it's the speedy outfielder, Michael Harris. Led off the game with a strikeout. On the ground, could be 2. Over to second for 1. Over to first, safe. And up next for Seattle, Marco Mendoza. And he's already singled in this game. Smoked on the ground a second. Albies over to first in time. That's the third. Now at the plate, Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
And first offering is fouled off.
All right, one more time, right here.
The wind of the pitch. Swinging a foul over the screen and back out of play. And he asks for time before the 0-2 pitch. One down, base is empty. That's a base hit.
Yeah, make the turn, pick up the ball.
Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells.
Runner on the go. Pitch is low. And safe. It's a stolen base. Singy, he definitely showed off the wheels there.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a bang-bang play. StatCast gives us the data, and that stolen base wasn't possible without that sprint speed.
In the air, right field. Under it is Acuna to make the grab. Ground who tags at second.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
Now batting.
And stepping in for the Mariners, Christian Arroyo.
Really good piece of hitting last time, going to the opposite field.
On the ground, right side. Albies tosses to first. Out number 3. So one hit is all. Back at Truist Park. Well, we go bottom 6, and now it's Dalton Varsho. Out to short. Leadoff man retired in the 6th.
Talk about being able to dial up the velocity. That first baseman over there might need a little pad inside that first base.
And next will be the cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza.
No, it's critical right here that they bear down and turn in some quality at bats. Try to chip away at that lead, because if it gets to the 9th, that closer's coming in.
What a stop to first. It's there, and that's a great play. The runs one. So Singy, as the numbers show, a great performance on the mound. Nothing better than pregame festivities for the World Series. Game 3 is coming up next. On the corner of Dave Niehaus Way and Edgar Martinez Drive. So just about set now. And on the hill, Luis Castillo.
Oh, this is a guy that usually turns in a very good outing. People like playing behind him. Everyone seems to be loose, and the offense tends to get going. So, you look at an opposing lineup, when they see him out there in the mound, they know that he's going to compete. They don't want to let him settle in. They want to try to knock him out, get into that bullpen before he gets real comfortable.
Bounced out to short. Fires across the diamond. They get the out on Acuna. Third out, and that ends the frame. We're midway in inning number 1. So now the Mariners offense gets to go to work for the first time. We've got no score. Back in Seattle, bottom of the second. Stepping in is the switch hitting shortstop, Marco Mendoza. Right, back to work. And that one hammered way back there. Gone! He crushes that one to center field. His second home run of the series. It's 1-0.
Power versus power right there, like two locomotives colliding. Who's going to win? Well, a really good job there by the hitter, getting the top hand working. Powers that fastball out of here.
1 out, base is empty. Marco Mendoza, the next to hit. The solo homer his first time. This is a true 5-tool guy. Not very many of them out there, but when he's on the field, you can't take your eye off of him. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. This one's got a chance. And it's off the wall. Throw is high and over his head. And he'll make it up to second as he advances on the throwing error. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed and everybody is a step or two behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
Cam Collier digs in now. Grounded out his first time up.
All right, come on now. One time. Let it fly.
In the air, left field. Varsho moving under it. And puts the squeeze on it. That's out number 2.
Now batting, second baseman.
Here's Christian Arroyo. He struck out swinging at his first at bat. And a ball and 2 strikes. He's trying for third. That one hit to right. And Acuna able to make the grab. So 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. Game 3 moves on to the 4th. It's the end. Man at first, Vaughn Grissom now at the plate. 1 for 2.
Grissom.
Hey, put him away. Make your pitch right here.
The 0-2. Out to short. Mendoza. Throw is low, and it gets by.
Oh, my God.
So now it's the Mariner cleanup hitter, Marco Mendoza. He's already homered in this game. Hard ground ball, base knock.
That way to find the sweet spot right there. Oh, that had to feel good.
Cam Collier up next for the Mariners.
The third baseman, Cam Collier.
The 0-1. That one the other way. Over to Albies. On to first, double play. And that's the inning. And here is Ronald Acuna Jr.
Right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Ball to strike. Hit hard on the ground to short. Whips it to first. And Acuna retired. They've got a potent lineup. And when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. Man at second here with 2 away. Here's Austin Riley. On the ground to short, Mendoza. Whips it across. Third out. But next to hit, Marco Mendoza. He's already homered here in this one.
Oh, yeah, Boog. He's on the brink of one of your favorite milestones. He's completed 3 legs of the cycle.
I love me some cycle. Ball 1 low.
Well, these Mariners, digging into their numbers, have to be happy with the swings they're taking. They have 5 extra base hits on the stat sheet so far, and that tells me they're seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well.
Varsho on the move. Dives for it, but it gets down for a knock. Cam Collier up next for the Mariners.
Now batting, third baseman, Cam Collier.
Right-handed reliever. That one misses. 3-1. Rodriguez at second. Mendoza at first with no outs. And that'll load the bases.
Well, interesting. He went with the off speed and walked the hitter. Man, you got to challenge the guy with the fastball.
And now it's going to be Christian Arroyo. 1 for 3. The other way. Base hit and a run in to score. Now a long throw home. And he's in there as they score a pair on the play.
Well, he wasn't afraid to hit with 2 strikes. I think he choked up a little bit, maybe spread out, but he got the job done right there. These guys obviously needed to win this game. Down 2-0 in the series. You go down 3-0, guys start packing their bags. They know that they're headed home. But they came out focused on the task at hand, got the job done, a win in the next game. All of a sudden, we've got a new series.
Well, Singy, it wasn't pretty, but here's another look at the final line.
Yeah, Boog, this one wasn't close. Not a lot of drama at the end either, and you just don't see a lot of blowouts in the postseason.
Final score here today, 10-3. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon. Hello, baseball fans, and welcome. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Seattle Mariners. So 2 down, and now for Seattle, Marco Mendoza. That one misses. Ball 1.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
Base hit. That was smoked through the infield. And they'll score first. It's 1-0.
Well, they strike first as he gets the job done to bring home the run. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
The third baseman.
2 outs, runner at first. And up next for Seattle, Cam Collier. Mendoza off of first with 2 away. Into the outfield, base hit. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out. Well, maybe that will end up getting him going.
Yeah, he really simplified there. Kept his shoulders square to the plate and wasn't trying to overswing. I think that's the key for him to have success through the rest of this series.
The second baseman.
Here's Christian Arroyo.
Arroyo.
It's great to get on the board in the first frame of the ball game, but here's an opportunity for them to really open things up with a couple of runners on.
Double steal. Slowly on the ground to short. Grissom. Now the throw to first on the run. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Did a nice job getting there. Good throw, but very difficult to get anybody on that one as far as you had to go and throw.
Question. Termarr Johnson next up for the Braves.
Termarr Johnson.
The 1-2. Double play ball to second. Arroyo to second for 1. And that's 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. It's the Mariners 2 and the Braves nothing. And stepping in for the Mariners, Marco Mendoza. Singled and drove in a run his first time through. He's not going to get cheated up there.
No, he's not. He's looking to do damage with every swing he takes.
Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit.
Pretty tough for the infielders to do anything with that one. He pulled it hard into the outfield, and even when you keep it on the ground, it feels great when you hit a missile like that.
Runner at first with 2 away. Here's the third baseman, Cam Collier. 1 for 1 with a single so far. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Waves at the bender for the strikeout. 1 left for Seattle, but they hold the 2-0 lead. One out, runner at second. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners. On the ground. Zips it across. That's out number 2. Here's Sean Murphy. On the ground, a second, might be 2. There's 1, and they get him easily at first. It's a double play.
Sometimes double plays get turned so quickly that you don't really get to appreciate.
Base is empty with 2 away. Marco Mendoza up next for the Mariners.
Marco Mendoza.
Ground ball, Olsen. Tosses to the pitcher covering the bag. Inning over. Nothing doing for the offense that time. We look ahead to inning.
Well, all these guys need is one more win. But when you're playing in the postseason, it's not just a win of a game. It's a win of an inning.
From the home of the Mariners since 1999, T-Mobile Park here in Seattle. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Seattle Mariners. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Michael Harris.
For Atlanta, the center fielder, Michael Harris.
Out to short, Mendoza. The throw to first. 1 up, 1 down.
Batting second, the shortstop, Vaughn.
Base is empty, 1 away. Now the number 2 hitter, Vaughn Grissom. Mendoza throws to first, and 2 away now.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 13, Ronald Acuna.
Back here at the ballpark, bottom half of inning number 2, and stepping in is the speedy Marco Mendoza. High fly ball out into left center field. No trouble here, puts it away for the out. And now the big-time power threat, Marco Mendoza. And that one ripped to left. Varsho makes the grab, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing here this half. Now here is Marco Mendoza.
Marco Mendoza.
Worm burner into the outfield for a knock.
Man, those are the types of hits where you don't feel any vibration in your hands whatsoever. Such a good feeling. He wasn't able to elevate it, but he put a great swing on it. Right on time, good, balanced.
First offering, runner goes. High fly ball, right field. Under it is Acuna to make the grab.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
Here's Christian Arroyo.
Come on, guy. Get your kick up there.
The pitch.
Runner, he's gone.
There goes the runner. Swing and a ball popped up. Olsen makes the grab. And that is that. This one pretty. All set to start the ninth in this one. And here is Michael Harris. Out to short. And the leadoff man retired here in the ninth.
Good slider inside right there. Batter fighting to get there. Just rolled over it. Got the ground ball.
One down. Vaughn Grissom will hit next. On the ground to the left. To first. That's it out.
Good arm side run and sink on that pitch right there.
Marco Mendoza getting ready to hit. 1 for 3. Pitch misses, and it's 1-0.
Hey, the tide, let it fly. Hey, wait for a good one and drive, and I'll pick one out.
Upstairs.
2-0 count to a guy with this much pop at the dish. You better expect him to be turning on something. It's going to either get hit hard to the pull side, or the fans better look out in the stands.
2-0 to count. Here it comes. Bounce to third.
Come on, come on, come on, come on,
And
come on.
that'll do it. The Atlanta Braves are back on top. They've won the World Series.
Congratulations to the World Series champions. Incredibly special team. So proud of these guys. I know the fans back in their hometown. Everybody going nuts right now. It's going to be such an amazing reception when these guys return home.
Welcome back on the show as we see some of the final moments and reactions in this World Series clinching game. And now let's go down on the field where they're set to present the Commissioner's Trophy to the World Series champs. For Chris Singleton and our outstanding crew, I'm John Shambi. This has been the World Series on MLB The Show.
The final line score for our ball game tonight. For the victorious Atlanta.